Then if it doesn't pass, you can't just never.
Less than 400.
The 20% less than the 400.
I don't know. I don't know. Steve just asked if 20% was less than the 400. I don't know.
What's,
Well, it wasn't at 20% or
if 400 was 20%, what would be the total?
2,000
Payment of
eligible voters.
eligible voters, so 20% would be a lot less, right?
I
Well,
don't know.
oh, per district, so Lakeview has what, 1,250 people? Wall Lake has what, 900?
That's just your
Yeah, that's
population
town,
of the
that's
community.
right.
Wall Lake.
Yeah, that's
It
right.
doesn't tell us what the population of the district is.
City?
The town line. This is no more than 2,000.
20% of qualified electors or 400 qualified electors. Is how.
Whichever's less.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, right, you still gotta figure out that it's qualified, even if you knew
Just
this.
got more felon.
Even if you
The
knew.
auditor should be able to tell you that. Well, I don't like the idea of jumping through the same hoop a half a dozen times.
And you're referring to a vote.
I'm not referring to the vote, I'm referring to such things as feasibility study. Anybody that's been paying attention knows what we've had going on here for a couple of years. And therefore, they should know whether it's feasible or not. I think that we can spend a lot of time in a lot of meetings, and you'll always be preaching to the same choir. And you could make this go on forever if you wanted to, I guess, but
Just look at this committee, it's dwindled down to a dozen people. Did everybody email you that said they weren't gonna be here like they asked in your instructions, Bob?
I'm not sure where Lisa's at, because we
I
both thought that she was
I thought
coming.
she'd be here, but
Donna Gray said she wouldn't be here. Sandy's telling Houston wasn't sure she could be here. Julie Schmidt had another meeting. Tammy Vine is a school rep, but she probably wouldn't be on the committee you're talking about. Roger had to leave for a city council meeting. Rachel, John, Norma, Steve, Scott, the two high school kids are going to Chicago on the trip, and then it's school personnel after that. So,
But we don't have to choose just the people on this.
No,
I mean, we
no.
could pull from anybody out of the
absolutely.
community.
You might know 5 other people that you think that are strongly for reorganization from SAC who'd love to work in a group like this.
I guess I'd like to know why not reorganize.
And I guess I agree with you, Chuck. I mean, the biggest piece is knowing why what would be the reasons why people wouldn't want to reorganize. And those are the questions to publicize. I don't know what they are, but there's some out there. Oh,
I've heard that question as many as any other. That's right. Why not?
And that might be a short list, or it might be a long list. I don't know.
And then maybe they should offer a better alternative.
You mean if someone's not interested in reorganization?
Yeah.
And it can be that people...
What's a better alternative for either district? I'd like to know what it is.
I think you got two groups out there. One group that, regardless of what we've done up to this point, they don't like it. Okay? They're opposed to it. I think we all probably know some of those. I think you got others that think we're doing the right thing, that if you just gave them a little bit more information, well, why should we take that next step? what's wrong with just saying sharing?
Right.
But I think they're looking for, well, maybe this is better to reorganize and continue to share. I think there's a group you're not going to get to, period.
No,
We all know who they
waste
are,
their time.
and that's fine. But I think there's also a group that really are concerned about the future of education for these two districts that I think you just need to give them a little bit more information, and they'll, hopefully they would see, I think that's the way to go. That's my thoughts on it. Now, what information is that? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're looking for. I think financial is probably pretty big right now. And that would be one of the most important ones, I think.
If it wouldn't pass, how long is our whole grade sharing contract?
5 years.
5 years. I think one thing you could say is, if that dissolved, and Sac City had to go find another partner, and Wallach Alva did, that would leave basically Sac County without a school, because we would have to probably go outside of the county to join somebody else.
This will be my personal opinion. I would sure hate to think that we would ever talk about dissolution of East Sac County schools.
Well, when you think of the time and the effort and the money and the relationships that have developed as a result of the sharing and the education programs that we have going on, I don't know how you could ever consider dissolving it.
Let alone the students.
I really think the students would demonstrate if we decided to tear
I
it
have
apart.
never heard any one comment about stopping the whole grid sharing. I mean, I think if there was a question, it would be, why do we go to the next step? I mean, if we're happy right where we're at, I'm not saying that, I'm not advocating that, I'm just saying that's the question that I've probably heard. So it's answering that question.
I guess I'm not a part of this committee, but I do know it exists out there. There are people opposed to it, and I guess I feel that we need to publicize the benefits of this. I guess it's easy for you to sit here and see it, but I know there's a group out there that is adamant about dissolving this thing, and yet I don't think they have a long-term solution in mind. But I think there's enough positive benefits that have developed over the last couple of years that need to be brought to the public's attention. But I feel there's a group out there that is set in their way to...
Just what Chris said. It doesn't make any difference. When we started to share, they were upset anyway.
But I think there's enough people on the border out there that if we can show them the positive benefits that have happened, that we can bring them our way.
Yeah, we don't want to overlook the student. I think, for instance, go home tonight and tell Hannah we're going to tear this thing apart.
Well, I'm not worried about Hannah.
She's a person who I think sees the benefits,
Yep.
Is 100% in favor of the schools being together, and is having a great experience.
Yep.
So,
Would people who are not crazy about the idea of it, or in fact would just assume that it not have happened, are there concerns? And I'm just asking because I really don't know, and I too know there are people who don't want this to work. Okay. Is it more along a financial line that they're worried that they can't trust the situation? Is it somebody didn't get something where they wanted it, and so that's got them their underwear in a wad over it? Is it that they truly don't think it's better than it was separate? Or do we have any idea what their thinking is?
Well,
Because if it is, you can start to give them the information then to say, okay, but look financially, okay, or but look at the college credit courses we offer as a powerful piece of what we do.
One thing I thought of, rather than doing through the whole study, since we're not absolutely required to do that, would we want to set ourselves up to a public question and answer? I mean, it's a little scary because, but each district.
But
They don't come looking at me.
Maybe it's a question you want.